Chosen one, listen closely. Right now, in this exact moment, something is shifting in the unseen world around you. You didn't stumble upon these words by chance. You were drawn here by forces you cannot see, but your soul can feel. What I'm about to share with you will either awaken everything inside you, or it will pass you by like wind through an open window. The choice, as always, belongs to you. But understand this: some moments arrive only once in a lifetime, and this is one of them. This message isn't for everyone who hears it. It never was. It's not meant for those who dabble in spiritual things when it's convenient or comfortable. It's not for people who want transformation without surrender, breakthrough without battle, elevation without sacrifice. This is for the ones who have been broken in ways no one else could see. The ones who cried in silence while the world assumed they were fine. The ones who kept moving forward, even when every logical reason told them to quit. The ones who survived nights so dark they couldn't imagine morning would ever come. If that's you, if you've walked through fire, and somehow you're still standing, then what I'm about to reveal is meant specifically for your ears. You've been wondering why your journey has been so difficult. Why doors closed when you were certain they would open. Why people you trusted turned their backs. Why the path forward seemed blocked at every turn. Why you've felt so alone, even in rooms full of people. Why your heart has carried weight that others cannot comprehend. You've questioned yourself 1,000 times, wondering if you did something wrong, if you missed a sign, if you're being punished for mistakes you can't even remember making. But I'm here to tell you something that will change everything you thought you understood about your story. None of it was punishment. Not a single moment. Every closed door was protection from something that would have delayed your true purpose. Every betrayal removed someone who would have sabotaged your destiny. Every season of silence was God preparing you in private for what He planned to do publicly. Every tear you cried watered seeds that are about to bloom in ways you cannot yet fathom. You weren't being overlooked. You were being prepared. You weren't being forgotten. You were being positioned. The universe wasn't ignoring your prayers. It was answering them in a language you hadn't learned to understand yet. Think about the times you should have broken but didn't. The moments when giving up would have been easier than breathing, yet something inside you refused to surrender. That wasn't willpower. That wasn't stubbornness. That was divine intervention, keeping you anchored when storms tried to sweep you away. Something has been protecting you that you couldn't perceive with your physical eyes. Angels have been assigned to your life that operate in dimensions beyond human comprehension. There have been attacks launched against you in the spiritual realm that never reached you because they were intercepted before they could land. You have no idea how many times you were shielded from destruction without even knowing danger was near. And now, after everything you've endured, after every test you've passed without realizing you were being tested, after every battle you've fought in secret, the moment has arrived. The waiting is over. The preparation phase has concluded. What you've been believing for, praying for, hoping for in the deepest chambers of your heart is about to manifest in the physical realm. But before it does, you need to understand what's been happening inside you these past few months, perhaps even longer. You've been feeling strange, haven't you? Emotions rising and falling like waves without warning. Thoughts racing through your mind at speeds you can't control. Your body responding to stress in ways it never did before. Sleep becoming difficult even when you're exhausted. Energy draining from you in environments that used to feel normal. People you once enjoyed suddenly feeling heavy, draining, uncomfortable to be around. Conversations that once engaged you now feeling hollow and meaningless. You thought something was wrong with you. You wondered if you were becoming antisocial, difficult, too sensitive, too serious. But nothing is wrong with you. Everything is right. You're not deteriorating. You're evolving. What you're experiencing is a frequency shift. Your entire energetic system is being upgraded to operate at a higher level. Imagine a radio that's been tuned to one station your entire life, suddenly being adjusted to pick up signals from a completely different bandwidth. That's what's happening to you right now. You're being recalibrated. Your spiritual antenna is being sharpened. Your discernment is being heightened. Your capacity to perceive truth is being expanded. And as this happens, everything that vibrated at your old frequency begins to feel incompatible, uncomfortable, impossible to tolerate. This is why toxic people suddenly feel unbearable. This is why shallow conversations drain you completely. This is why scrolling through meaningless content leaves you feeling empty. This is why you're craving solitude, silence, stillness. Your spirit is rejecting interference because something is trying to come through. Messages from the divine realm are attempting to reach you, but they require quiet to be heard. Instructions are being downloaded into your consciousness, but you have to create space to receive them. There's something else happening simultaneously. Old agreements are being dissolved. I'm not just talking about relationships or jobs or locations, though those might change too. I'm talking about spiritual contracts you made when you were operating from fear instead of faith. Promises you made to yourself when you were wounded that shaped how you saw the world. Beliefs you accepted as truth when you were too young to question them. Identities you constructed to survive situations that no longer exist. All of that is being torn down right now. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's confusing. Yes, it feels like you're losing yourself. But you're not. You're finding yourself, the real you. The version of you that existed before trauma taught you to hide. Before rejection taught you to dim your light. Before betrayal taught you to build walls. What you're going through right now is what happens to a caterpillar inside a cocoon. If you could see inside that small enclosed space, you wouldn't witness transformation. You would witness complete dissolution. The caterpillar literally liquefies. Its entire form breaks down into genetic material before restructuring into something entirely new. That's where you are right now. In the liquid stage, it doesn't feel like progress. It feels like destruction. But on the other side of this uncomfortable in-between space, wings are forming. The ability to fly is being created. A completely new existence is being prepared. You've also noticed something else, haven't you? Signs appearing everywhere you look. Strangers saying things that feel like messages meant specifically for you. Numbers repeating in patterns you can't ignore. Old memories surfacing without warning, reminding you of things you thought you'd forgotten. Dreams that feel more real than waking life. People from your past reaching out after years of silence. Opportunities appearing from nowhere. Doors opening that you never even knocked on. None of this is coincidence. The universe doesn't operate on randomness. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is intentional. Everything means something. These are confirmations. Evidence that you're on the right path. Proof that you're being guided even when you can't see the full picture. The divine realm is sending you signals to let you know you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not imagining things. You're waking up. You're becoming aware of realities that have always existed, but you couldn't perceive them before. The veil is thinning for you. The separation between the physical and spiritual realm is becoming more transparent. You're gaining access to dimensions that most people never touch in their entire lifetime. And here's what you need to understand about timing. You couldn't have received this information earlier. It would have crushed you. The revelation would have been too heavy for who you were before the trials, before the tests, before the transformation. You had to become strong enough to carry what you're about to receive. You had to develop spiritual muscles that can only be built through resistance. You had to learn lessons that can only be learned through experience. The waiting wasn't wasted time. It was necessary preparation. Every single day that felt like delay was actually divine timing at work, positioning pieces on a chessboard you couldn't see. Consider the story of Joseph from ancient scripture. He received dreams as a young man, showing him elevated above his brothers, ruling with authority, leading nations. But those dreams didn't manifest the next day, the next month, or even the next year. He was betrayed by his own family, sold into slavery, falsely accused, thrown into prison, forgotten by people he helped. Years passed. Silence stretched on endlessly. But during that time, he wasn't being punished. He was being prepared. The boy who had the dreams had to become the man who could fulfill them. Character had to be forged. Integrity had to be tested. Wisdom had to be developed. And when the time finally came, everything aligned perfectly. He was in exactly the right place at exactly the right moment to step into his destiny. Your story follows the same pattern. You've been in preparation longer than you wanted. You've endured more than seemed fair. You've walked through valleys darker than you thought you could survive. But everything, absolutely everything, was serving your ultimate purpose. The closed doors protected you from paths that would have derailed you. The betrayals removed people who would have held you back. The delays prevented you from building on foundations that would have crumbled. The silence taught you to hear God's voice above all other noise. You weren't going in circles. You were ascending in spirals, coming back around to the same lessons at higher levels until you mastered them completely. And now you've arrived. Not at the beginning of the journey, but at the completion of the preparation phase. What comes next is manifestation. The invisible becoming visible. The promised becoming present. The hoped for becoming held. But I need you to understand something crucial about what you're walking into. This isn't just a new chapter. This is a completely new book. This isn't just a promotion. This is a dimensional shift. You're not just getting better circumstances. You're getting access to a realm of existence that most people don't even know exists. Doors are about to open that no human being can close. Not because you're perfect, or because you earned it through good behavior, but because you remained faithful when faithfulness defied all logic. You kept believing when circumstances screamed that belief was foolish. You continued to love when you had every reason to close your heart. You chose character over comfort repeatedly, consistently, even when no one was watching. And heaven noticed. The universe took note. The spiritual realm recorded every moment. Nothing was overlooked. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was forgotten. What's about to happen in your life will make people question what changed. They'll look at you differently, speak to you differently, treat you differently. Some will be drawn to you without understanding why. Others will distance themselves without explanation. Your presence alone will cause reactions, because your frequency will be operating at a level that affects everyone around you. You won't have to announce your transformation. It will be evident. You won't have to prove your worth. It will be obvious. You won't have to chase opportunities. They will pursue you. Your income is going to shift, but not because you worked harder. You've been working hard all along. It will shift because you aligned with purpose. And when you align with purpose, provision follows. Your relationships are going to shift, but not because you became judgmental. You've always had discernment. They will shift because your frequency changed, and only people vibrating at compatible levels will be able to remain close. Your clarity is going to shift from confusion to crystal clear direction. Your peace is going to shift from occasional to unshakable. Your authority is going to shift from questioned to recognized. Everything is shifting because you have shifted. But I must warn you about something. With elevation comes opposition. The enemy of your soul knows what you're about to step into, and he's terrified. That's why the attacks have been so intense lately. That's why the spiritual warfare has felt relentless. That's why you've been battling thoughts, emotions, and circumstances that seem designed specifically to break you. You're not under attack because you're weak. You're under attack because you're dangerous. The darkness doesn't waste ammunition on people who pose no threat. If hell is fighting you this hard, it's because heaven has marked you for something significant. Every attack is confirmation. Every battle is proof. Every struggle is evidence that you're carrying something valuable, something powerful, something that will shift atmospheres and transform lives. The intensity of the warfare is directly proportional to the magnitude of your calling. The harder they fight you, the bigger your breakthrough. The more they try to stop you, the further you're destined to go. Don't let the battle make you doubt your path. Let it confirm you're on exactly the right one. Right now, in this moment, you're standing at a threshold. Behind you is everything you've survived. Ahead of you is everything you're becoming. The decision before you is simple but profound. Will you cross over? Will you release the old completely and embrace the new fully? Will you let go of who you were to become who you're meant to be? Because you can't carry both versions. You can't walk in two dimensions simultaneously. You have to choose. If you choose to move forward, if you say yes with your whole heart, if you surrender completely to what's unfolding, then what happens next will exceed anything you've imagined. But if you hesitate, if you hold back, if you try to keep one foot in the familiar while reaching for the new, you'll experience some blessing, but not the fullness. You'll see some breakthrough, but not the totality. You'll taste some of what's possible, but not the abundance. The choice is yours, and it must be made now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more ready. Now, because this window, this moment, this opportunity, it doesn't remain open indefinitely. You are not here by accident. You did not find this message randomly. You were led here, guided here, summoned here by forces that knew you needed to hear these exact words at this exact time. Your spirit recognized truth before your mind could process it. Something inside you started vibrating the moment you began reading, didn't it? That's confirmation. That's your inner witness agreeing with what's being spoken. That's your soul saying, yes, this is real, this is for me, this is my moment. Everything is aligning. Everything is shifting. Everything is moving. The old is passing away. The new is emerging. Your time has come. Your season has changed. Your breakthrough is here, not coming. Here, present. Available, accessible, right now. In this moment, as you read these words, the transformation is complete. The preparation is finished. The manifestation is beginning. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your awakening, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what has already been set in motion by forces beyond human control. Walk forward. Step into it. Receive it. Embrace it. Because everything you've been through has led to this single moment, and the best isn't coming. It's already here.